Hey all, Bad as Fish 80 here. Patch 1.21 for Minion Masters dropped today, so I just thought it would be cool just to quickly go through the patch notes. There's a couple of things that we can clarify that are not obviously instantly obvious. We will do that right now. The patch notes are available on the website. I will put the link in the description for you. But let's just crack on straight with this. Okay, so as I said, version 1.21. So there's two new cards, the Lash of Ah'mun and the Shroom Puff. We've already seen those from the update site that they've released those. Now remember, this is the final expansion within Uprising, so that means that the next expansion will be a full new 3-month expansion. So we're excited to see that. So let's check out what is available here in the new update. So a new season pass has arrived. As we know, that's 1,250 rubies, not 12,000. There's a ton of new rewards, including 2 cards, a legendary skin, bonus cards, and more. The 2 new cards are the Lash of Ah'mun, which is a 5-mana spell, calls down a Spirit of Ah'mun that attacks twice. It doesn't specify in the card, but Ah'mun does 200 damage. So that's 200 damage attacks. The Spirit of Ah'mun can be interacted with like a regular unit from what we've seen. And there's also the Shroom Puff, which is a Zen-Chi Puff. When it gets the bridge, it turns into a Gross Burst Shroom. If the Zen-Chi flow, so if you've used the Zen-Chi card beforehand, it switches to 2 of them. Now, the Lash of Ah'mun is only available in the Premium Pass, whereas the Shroom Puff is available in the regular pass. There's a new skin, the Dark Fury Dryad Morelia, and the season will end on 4th of March. Now, the card balance, this is always interesting. Arcane Bolt, so mana freeze reduced from 3 to 2, so that effectively means it costs 1 less, so that's a buff. The threshold that it kills above, or kills below, sorry, has been reduced from 500 to 450, so it won't kill instantly so many things anymore, so that's a small nerf. Now, Boom Buggy, we've been using that a lot today, that seems really good. The cooldown, so I believe the cooldown is the time between attacks, reduced from 5 to 4.5 seconds, and the delay, which I believe is the delay before it starts its attack, is down from 2 to 1.5, so it attacks faster now, overall higher DPS. Bridge Shrine, the health's been increased, so as a building, the more health it has, the longer it lasts. Crossbow Dudes, another nerf, their attack cooldown has been increased from 1.8 to 2. Dragon Ball is an interesting one. So Dragon Ball, if it's activated, where if you've played a 5+ mana minion beforehand, I believe, when you use it, you get a Dragon Whelp. Previously, when it was non-activated, all you got was a Fireball. Now you'll get a Flightless Dragon with it. So that's a nice little change. Empowered Soul Stealer. So this is not the regular Soul Stealer. This is the 7 mana empowered version. Gets 2 souls on spawn and 1 extra for each sacrifice. No longer has Call Slitherbound. Grasping Thorns, cost reduced from 3 to 2, nice little buff, but the damage consequently has been reduced from 200 to 170, but already seeing a lot more Grasping Thorns in decks. Now, Lord Fenrir Stormcharger is an interesting one. Damage down from 120 to 100, and charge damage down from 150 to 100. That's important because it no longer kills things like stun lancers. You can stop it a lot more easily. But all damage is now true damage. Now that means his regular attack plus the storm charge attack is true damage. And what true damage does is it basically ignores shields or any defensive abilities. So it will go through a regular shield, it will go through a divine shield, and these are things I've spoken to the devs about and they've confirmed this is how it works. It'll go through Apep's face shield, it'll go through King Puff's face shield, and also interestingly it doesn't trigger defensive abilities. So against the Succubus won't drop back, against the Musketeer there'll be no riposte, and against the Defenso Chopper, for example, there'll be no stun. So that's interesting. The good thing about the fact that it goes through shields means it won't be stopped by small things like shielded crossbow dudes and armored scrats, for an example. Never steps forward on spawn, so it's similar to the Windwalker She-Howl, where it jumps forward. Doesn't jump forward as far, I don't think. which is interesting. Not quite sure how that's going to be. I haven't seen that in the Bats spell, but that could be something to look out for. Okay, the Sewer Scrap. Now, the Sewer Scrap used to always do poison on hit. That's been reduced from 3 seconds to 2 seconds. Now, I believe poison does 20 damage per second. But interestingly, it also inflicts 2 seconds of poison per its own attacks. So, as a damaging unit, it's a much better proposition than it was previously. We've got a number of changes to Shen Storm Strike. So the attack stun duration is down from 2.5 to 2 seconds. The Zenshi Flow stun duration, that's when you spawn him, if you've got him activated, that's down from 3 to 2. But the Zenshi Flow stun radius is up from 4.5 to 6. So their explanation there was they're trying to get all of the stuns to be the same kind of time. Shield Captain of Aya, shield range increased, and even if the target unit has a shield, it counts towards her quest. So that means that she can more easily and reliably complete her quest, which of course is to get 5 shield activations on at least 1 unit. Ting Tang Tong, that's just a straight nerf, health reduced from 300 to 270. Now, as well as removing some health overall, of course, that the health reduction means that the divisions at which the different brothers fall off has been changed, so that can really change how some units will trade against it. Void Altar, cost down from 9 to 8. They're just trying to get that to be played more. Zap Shrine, the Zenshi Flow stun duration, so that's when you spawn it. If it's activated, is only 2 seconds now, but it does have up to 100 from 75 HP, which means it's going to last longer and it's going to be able to get more of its closest minion stuns off. Okay, healing balance. So we've seen before that spirits only give 100 HP, half of what a melee ground minion will get. We saw that Valorian's perk 1 only healed flying minions by half, but now what they've said is healing overall is 50% on flying minions. Now, the one thing we've seen today, which is a little bit interesting, is that that also applies to Herald Ah'mun's sacrifice, his resurrection, his cheat death, whatever the phrase is for that. So that's a huge nerf for him if that's working as intended. So those are the changes of the cards. We've got the Master Balance, which is Volko, has been changed. So his perk 2, the Embers of Flame that spawn on the bridges, all minions can pick those up now, and they will all gain rage. So whether they're melee, range, flying, they can all gain rage. And perk 3 builds upon that, where all minions can gain rage, but the melee minions gain berserker rage. So that's definitely a good buff for Volko. A few bug fixes: Jinlong's shock entry radius size being visible, Jinlong's card status icons referring to Xiaolong, that's been corrected. Added the indicator for blood pack, to Brutish Betrayer. Fixed Avea's shields reacting fast enough to Fireball to block Fireball's damage. That was interesting, where if you Fireballed her and her activated units, she would be able to shield and save them, but no more. A few more changes here, nothing hugely important. Puff cards have been removed from Jungle Jumble. So I'd say that's a buff to that card, because you don't really want to be getting puffs from that. Okay, so that's pretty much going through all of the changes. If you've got any questions, of course, put them in the comments, drop by the stream. So yeah, that's patch 1.12. We'll see how these changes land on the ladder. But yeah, if you've got any questions, be sure to ask them. If you need anything clarified, or you have any thoughts to add, please drop them in the comments. And as I say, I'll put the notes for the address, the website for these notes in the description, so you can find them easily. Okay, that's enough rambling. Bad as a fish, 80 out.